I love local commercials. They're not usually working with a whole lot of money, and they're only ever shown to a relatively small portion of the country, but they still need to compete with franchises that have a significantly larger advertising budget. They tend to have this weird mania to them as they try to break through the noise with comparatively few resources. But since they're casting such a narrow net to such a specific area of the country, you can end up with these weird little local celebrities. And if you're from the Toledo area, your go-to local celebrity, whether you like it or not, is Steve from Car Stereo 1.
It's me, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
My new store opens
Soon.
Steve's moving.
Car Stereo 1 is a store that offers a variety of car customizations. Like their name implies, they'll install new car stereo systems, but they also do remote car starts, window tinting, wraps, that sort of thing. And they were run by a man called Steve Braun, a man who also operated as their chief spokesperson for the entirety of my childhood. I used to hate these. I used to think they were really annoying, and that was like the general opinion in the area.
Hi, Steve.
Beat the rush and I'll do a little something special for you.
I only ever remember people complaining about these, calling them out for being loud and abrasive. Steve has the energy of like an office funny guy who's never really learned how to turn it off.
Come meet my friend Vito from Vito's Pizza.
And I'll be serving our best-selling chicken bacon ranch pizza for free.
Yeah, plus a car stereo eating contest.
No, it's a pizza eating contest.
And the commercials were filled with these annoying noises and nonsensical catchphrases.
Hi, Steve.
Turtle.
He'd never say the name of his business the way any human being would ever pronounce it. He'd always say,
Car Stereo 1.
and then enters the mystery. Every commercial would end with him saying,
Turtle.
Idiot.
why? They're a car customizer. They're not an aquarium. They're not a pet store. They have no relationship to turtles whatsoever. I'm not even 100% sure you could purchase turtle wax there. I did manage to find this interview that Steve did with the director of the commercials, and here he just straight up says that it has no meaning. It's just something they'd say to get people talking and to grab their attention.
We put it in a commercial, and we just kept putting it in every commercial, like at the end of the commercial, and people were, did he just say turtle? What does that have to do with the car stereo business? And of course, it didn't really have anything to do with anything, but people talked about it.
Rain turtle.
I honestly think that's the best answer. It has no meaning. Love it. The weirdest thing to me is that these commercials are wildly out of tone for what you'd expect given what they're selling. Usually these types of ads are about how sexy and ostentatious they can make your car look. But Steve was about being weird and eccentric and off the wall. Take a look at one of these videos from the Car Stereo 1 Facebook page. See, now that's more what you'd expect, and it always feels weird when they need to tie this sexy tone in with the more off-the-wall tone from the ads. Like, take a look here. You can feel when it breaks.
This is Car Stereo 1. Wicked awesome. Car Stereo 1.
Need directions? CarStereo1.com.
Turtle. Over the years, they transitioned from Steve being a fully on-camera personality to being voiceover set to an animated image of his face to ultimately just having him be a fully animated character. And I can't help but wonder if this change was at all affected by the backlash to the commercials being considered obnoxious. Like, I can't find any footage of this anywhere, but I firmly remember that the very first commercial that used voiceover set to an animated image of his face was one where Steve would come out and be like, "Hi, I'm Steve. I haven't been on TV in a while, but why is that?" And then a bunch of Mounties, like as in the Canadian Mounted Police, would show up and they would all sing in harmony, "You're annoying." And then Steve said, "Why? Because I do this?" And then he'd just scream for a while. And that was the commercial. I mean, I'm sure there was also something in there about like spray-on bed liners or something, but all I remember is the screaming. Recently, I rewatched all of these that I could find online, and what really stood out to me the most was how genuinely ambitious they are. They're taking some real risks by being this aggressive and strange. This man came on during the commercial breaks for the evening news and yelled, "Come eat my hog," at an unsuspecting rural populace.
Come eat my hog!
What an absolutely wild human being. Now, growing up, I used to make fun of these commercials for trying to be funny and failing, but I don't think I was taking them on their own terms. Now, rewatching them with so much experience behind me, I have to say my adult eyes have laid them bare for the art that they are.
Reindeer Steve here. Oh, worst view ever.
Why is he under the reindeer? What's he doing under there? There's a second version of this ad that features a reindeer fart cloud, which would help you sell car stereos because it feels weird to say these remind me of Tim and Eric sketches because of course they do. Like, what is your average Tim and Eric sketch, if not an attempt to recreate the awkward atmosphere of a low-budget local commercial? And here, it's just happening, organically.
Dads, grads, come get your money.
Jim, come get your damn land.
It's a free house!
There's a point where Steve hadn't been on TV for a while, so they figured they needed to launch this whole campaign about how rumors of his death had been greatly exaggerated.
Just because I haven't been on TV lately, people think I'm dead. Well, I got news for you. I'm alive.
Every actor they got for this absolutely knocks it out of the park.
Steve's alive?
Steve's alive?
Steve's alive.
Who's Steve?
And every single one of these commercials, no matter how weird or obnoxious, they all have this infectious atmosphere to them. It feels like Steve just got in front of a green screen and ad-libbed until the commercial was over. And hey, who am I to complain about that? Now, in my research for this video, I did come across some startling recent developments going on over at Car Stereo 1.
It wasn't that long ago, on this very segment, we told you about one local business undergoing some changes, including at the top.
My name is Parker Lopez. I'm the store owner of Car Stereo 1, Toledo, Ohio, 3120 West Central Avenue. We actually are launching our Steve retirement sale that's coming up.
Steve retired earlier this year, and their new manager, Parker, has continued the tradition of taking on the role of spokesperson. Now, this sort of event is usually treated as a courteous torch passing. Like, the old spokesperson comes out and goes, "Hey guys, I'm retiring. It's been a great run, but I want you to know you're in good hands with my friend Parker." Car Stereo 1 did not take that route.
Steve's retiring.
Take it away, Parker.
It's in with the new and out with the old.
Hey.
Guess what? Steve is a hoarder. He's leaving me with way too much stuff.
Hey, Parker! Hey everybody, Steve left me with a bunch of crap I gotta sell. He sucks. Portraying the guy taking over your business as a usurper you do not approve of is an unconventional angle for a business to take, and it feels like they're using this as an opportunity to tone down the old off-the-wall angle of the commercials. Like, Parker is fun and friendly, and he does a really good job, but the commercials are not as outwardly annoying as they used to be. They're even claiming that turtle means something now.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think he just liked turtles. It's actually an acronym for Turn Up Radio to Loud Extreme.
That's not as much fun. I liked it when it was nonsense. Now, on the face of it, this seems like a really good idea. I mean, you don't want people associating your brand with something that they complain about. But you can't say they weren't effective. I mean, yeah, the old Steve ads were obnoxious, but they also stuck in my craw so much that now, years later, I'm still thinking about them. Honestly, if I needed a car mod, and I lived in the area, literally the only name I would be able to think of would be Car Stereo 1. Turtle. And like it or not, that is some damn good advertising. Well, thank you for joining me again. Please let me know if you had any local commercials in your area growing up that I wouldn't know about. I love hearing about this kind of thing because they are so specific and everyone has very intense memories of the local commercials where they grew up, but not that many people have heard of them. It's always exciting to hear this kind of story. I would love to hear about something that really stuck in your craw for the past decade or whatever. Thank you so much. Bye!